Okay, guys, so today we are going to be talking about punctuation, right? And if you guys remember, we done punctuation in the first term. Okay, so that's like commas, question marks, full stops, dashes, etc. There's one person waiting. I think there's a grade 8 that joined our class. It's hilarious. Okay, let's see who this is. Okay. Just keeping the chat open. All right, so guys, the first thing I want you guys to just tell me if you can see the screen on the group. So just reply yes if you can see the screen clearly.
Yes.
Not to me, on the chat. Okay, Brooklyn said yes. Dalen said yes. Okay, awesome, guys. All right. I'm just going to mute. I see there's some kind of feedback happening here. Right, now you all unmuted, right? Okay, so guys, it says correct the punctuation errors below. I'd like to thank my parents, Tiffany and God. Now, what is funny about that sentence there? How should it be written? So if you're saying it like this, I'd like to thank my parents, comma, Tiffany and God, you're saying that one of your parents' names is God, all right? So where do we put the comma in that sentence to make it sound like I'd like to thank my parents, Tiffany, and God. Tiffany's another person. Tiffany can be a friend, it can be the sister, whatever. So talk to me in the chat and let me know how we can change that sentence to make it sound correct. Between the name and God. Yeah, excellent, right? So I'm just going to write it out for you guys. I'd like to thank my parents, Tiffany, and God. That makes more sense, all right? Unless your parent's name is God, then it's a different story now. Okay, the next picture here, you can see there's like a grandma running after two kids with a knife, right? And she's saying, time to eat children, comma, save lives. So this is very funny because she didn't put a comma there. What does it mean? It means that it's time to physically eat the children, right? Where do we put the comma to make it, to have the meaning that we want? Yes, excellent. From Wolf and Brooklyn. Time to eat, comma, children. Good job. Okay, yes, Fiona, have to eat. Okay, and let's look at the last one, guys. So this one's, I think, hilarious. It says, attention, toilet only for disabled, elderly, pregnant children. Thank you for shopping with us. Wow. So there is absolutely no commas here. Where do we put the commas? Okay, so we put it after disabled. I'm not going to type it out. And we put it after elderly, after pregnant. In that way, we know that those are the particular categories of people that who the toilet is accessible to, right? But if we don't have any commas, guys, then it sounds like the children are disabled, elderly, and pregnant, okay? And that just sounds very weird. Okay, let's move on to our first punctuation mark, a very easy one. It's the capital letter. And if you know the capital letter, you know that you start with any sentence starts with a capital letter. All right. A capital letter is also used to indicate a proper noun. So what are proper nouns? Let me know in the chat. Vian says, after eat, disabled. Good. Well done. So give me examples of proper nouns. Names of what. Important things, like what? A movie, all right, it's a proper noun. For example, Harry Potter. You always start with a capital letter. Names and places, excellent. Names, yeah, well done. So, example sentences. All I want is a pastry. Guys, I notice this a lot in you guys writing. Whenever you guys say the word I, meaning myself, you guys write it as a small I, and that's incorrect, okay? It's always a capital I. Let's look at the next one. You can call me Ronnie. Ronnie is a name, so it'll have a capital letter. And the last really interesting function of the capital letter is just say you want to emphasize something, right? If someone wants to be admitted here. I'm just admitting people to the chat. Okay. So I was saying that to say you want to emphasize something in a text, right? Something's very important.
Hi, Matt.
Hello. Or you're yelling at someone. I know that if you're writing on WhatsApp, okay, and you want to yell at someone, then you will write in capital letters. Can you see in this word, every single letter is in capital, right? It sort of sounds like you're shouting for joy. I want it today, right? And there's even an exclamation mark after that to further emphasize. Okay, the next one is a full stop. A grade 8 is here. Is the grade 8 Jensen? Who's the grade 8? Brooklyn, you can unmute yourself. Who's the grade 8 that's here?
What tutor?
Oh. Okay, I'm not seeing him on my end, but if I do, I will address it. Okay, I think he's lost. Then we go on to the next one. It's a full stop or a period, right? We usually call it a period when we are abbreviating words. Yes? Someone said something? Okay, so a full stop is obviously marks the end of a sentence, all right? You also use a full stop while reading a sentence when we need to pause, right? We use a full stop. Leila, please mute your mic. Full stops end sentences that are not questions or exclamations. That's obvious. A full stop or period is also used at the end of an abbreviated word or between the letters of an abbreviated word. So this is a cool activity that we can do together. And you guys are just gonna answer me in the chat, right? So we need to add full stops or periods to the word sentences below. I'm gonna do the first 3 and then you guys are gonna help me with the abbreviations. Because remember, we done abbreviations in the first term. Okay, so it says, this is an elephant. That's a sentence. It's not a question, so it's full stop. Anne is an excellent teacher. Full stop. Canada is a fascinating country. Full stop. Right. But here we have abbreviations. Who can tell me what CO stands for? You find it in certain names of companies. Leslie and Co. Let me know in the chat, guys. And a full stop or period comes after the word co. Company. Good work, Sonia. Let's look at the next one. Etc. ETC stands for etc. Right? Where does the full stop go after etc.? Good, Wolf. Then we look at the next one. Example. How do you write I know I gave it away. How does example look with an abbreviation and full stops? Yes, good, well done, Wolf. Brooklyn, you just need to add a full stop after the G, right? So guys, it looks like this. The next one is IE. IE means which means, right? So how do we write IE? So IE could also be like AKA, and we like using AKA a lot. Okay, IE is there's a full stop after I and there's a full stop after E. Okay, and the last one is NO. NO stands for number, and there's also a full stop after that. Okay, guys, the next one we're doing is the comma, right? We've seen how much chaos can be caused if we do not use commas. A comma is used to organize thoughts into logical groups. Okay, we're going to go through the few functions of a comma, and then we're going to do the activity below. I'm just taking out a whiteboard. Guys, do you know I have access to a whiteboard on my Zoom? Okay. Right. The first one, a comma places a pause between clauses within a sentence. We're going to do clauses a little bit later on, but think of a clause as a complete sentence, right? The next one, it is used to add additional information to a previous point or support a previous point. It's also used to interrupt a point, okay? When you want to start a sentence abruptly or you want to say something in a sentence, but that interrupts the flow of the sentence, right? It separates items in a list, and it also separates adjectives in a series. Series means something that comes one after another. Okay, let me just go a little bit down so we can do the activity. Right, in this activity, we need to look at the sentences below and match it with the function of the comma. So these are all the functions on the top, and we need to match these functions that are illustrated within the sentences, right? So let's read the sentences. Although we were late, it didn't matter. Okay, so what is the function there? You just need to write me like 2 words. For example, it's create a pause, then just say pause. Although we were late, it didn't matter. You can have more than one function. So you can even say it's used to interrupt, it's used to separate items. No, guys, you don't have to write it in your books. You just listen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys the Word document on Google Classroom. And you guys can just complete it after the lesson. Okay. For now, just follow along with me. Okay, I'm going to do the first one for you because I'm not receiving any replies there. Although we were late, it didn't matter, right? So this is when we want to add an additional point, additional information, right? Ooh, my spelling is a bit off there. The next one, you will need eggs, butter, salt, and cheese. What's the function? That's pretty simple. It separates items in a list. Sorry, the red dot is my cursor. Right. They're also listing. Excellent, Brooklyn. And Wolf. Wolf says it breaks up the sentence. Okay, the next one says, I wore a red-colored long and frilly skirt. Now, guys, this is an interesting one. It's one of these functions here. First, tell me, what part of speech is red? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Or is it an adjective? Adjective. Good. Right, so Red, long, and frilly are all adjectives. So as Brooklyn said first, we use it to separate adjectives in a sentence. Okay, I'm not going to write that. You guys can write it when you get the activity. Okay, let's go on to the next one. She was sad, but she still had hope. She was sad, but she still had hope. Can I say I'm pausing? Yeah, I'm definitely pausing there. She was sad, but she still had hope. I am adding onto the previous statement, right? Okay. Okay, I want you guys to pausing, then carrying on, absolutely. Okay. All right, guys, let's look at the last one. All doctors, if they care about their patients, are concerned with office hygiene, and that's also to add additional information, right? I think by the end of this lesson, it's really, you guys, it's really going to be cemented, right, in your minds, because we've done this a lot of times, okay? Okay, the next punctuation mark is the hyphen. The hyphen is very important, okay, but we're not going to go into it that much today. It's usually used to connect two words together, right? When two words are connected together, we call them compound words. But not just any words. Words that are separate or can stand on their own. But when we join them together, they create a new word, right? So for example, northeast, we want to put a hyphen. A hyphen is short. Okay. Then fair weather friend. Fair weather friend means someone's only your friend when things are going well on your side, right? But as soon as things are difficult for you, then that person leaves you. So guys, tell me in the comments, where does the hyphen go in fair weather friend? There's only one hyphen here. Write it down for me in the chat. Who's Vanessa's iPad? Is that Wolf or Layla? It's not saying a name. Yes, fair weather friend, Vanessa Klevensky. I think that's Layla, because it's two Vanessas here. It's not me. But who's me? Okay. Okay. Vanessa's iPad is Layla. Okay. Thank you. All right. The next one is X factor. We know where the hyphen goes there. Thank you, Layla and Brooklyn. Okay. Mother-in-law. There are, I'm not going to say how many hyphens there are here, but let's see. I want Vian to help me with this one. Tell me where the hyphens go in mother-in-law. Okay, and Samia, give me the next one. We're looking for a dog-friendly hotel. And who's this enthusiastic person? Yes, Layla, please give me the last one, the rock hard cake. Good, Vian, excellent. So in mother-in-law, there are two hyphens. And there we go. Dog-friendly hotel. Who was supposed to do that one? I think you guys are taking time to write. Yes. Good, Samia. Dog-friendly, right? Okay, and the last one was Layla, I think. Okay, while we're waiting for Layla, let's move on to the next punctuation. Rock hard, very nice. Okay, so guys, the next punctuation mark is called brackets. Okay, brackets, you guys are all familiar with. You guys use it all the time as well. But brackets are very important because they don't serve a function that you may think they serve, right? So if you don't want a certain piece of information to be focused upon, you don't want people to like emphasize on that when they're reading your text, right? Then you put that in brackets. Something that's unimportant or unnecessary. Sometimes if it's a joke, right, you could also put it in brackets because it adds humor to the text. So let's look at this example here. The necklace, which had been in my family for years, was stolen. So do we need to know that your necklace that has been in your family for years? We don't need to know that, right? We just need to know the point. The point was that the necklace was stolen. Okay, let's add brackets in the correct places. So first, I'm going to read the sentence for you, and then we're going to decide where we should put the brackets, right? The first one says, Sam, the boy from the school, helped me with my homework. Guys, where does the bracket go here? Just tell me the words that need to go in the bracket. Good. Well done, Layla and Brooklyn. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I want Dalen to help me answer the next one. The pig ate the ice cream cone. His favorite flavor was chocolate. The pig ate the ice cream cone. His favorite flavor was chocolate. So what's important and what's unimportant in the sentence? Dalen? Okay, I see Vian answered first. His favorite flavor is chocolate. Good. So we don't need to know that his favorite flavor is chocolate. We just need to know the point. The point of the sentence is the pig ate the ice cream, right? Okay, here we go. The next sentence. Jenny, the girl that lives in the yellow house, invited you to her birthday party next week. Oh, this one's an interesting one. So let's have, who didn't I ask? Let's have Wolf answer this one. Oh, I see that Layla already answered. Okay, so Jenny, the girl who lives in the yellow house, very nice, invited you to her birthday party next week. Excellent. Yeah, I see you said sorry now. Yeah, you must wait for me, guys. Okay, the next one says, I'm going to the park to play with Richard, who goes to school with me. Let's ask Wolf to do this one first. I'm going to the park to play with Richard, who goes to school with me. So it's not that it's like totally unimportant. It's just sometimes it's even repetitive facts. Sometimes if it wasn't in that sentence, it wouldn't make a difference. Yes. So who goes to school with me will be highlighted. Ugh. See guys, there's a little piggy here. Look how huge that ice cream is. Okay. By the way, is it possible to use emojis on the chat? Can you guys show me how you do that, if you can? Because I mean, that would be really cool. Oh, oh, I love that, Dalen's one. Oh, I don't know. That's why I want to know if we can use it. How are they doing this? Dalen, how are you doing this?
Ma'am, you go into, so on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay, so you on your keyboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I think it only works on like a tablet or a phone,
Oh,
because on the what you call it, the keypad on the phone and that,
mm-hmm.
there's a small thing on the bottom left that looks like an emoji.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, eh? And I don't think laptops can do that. Brooklyn says, ma'am, computer press Windows and period for emojis. Okay, I'll figure it out later. Okay, guys, the next and the last one is the dash. And why I love the dash is because it's the opposite of a bracket, all right, in many ways. Why it's the opposite is because a bracket is used to give information that's not so important, right? That you can live without. But a dash is used to focus or emphasize on a piece of information in a text, right? When you really want someone to get something, to get a message, right? So it even gives more emphasis than a comma, and we're going to see how that works. I'm going to read these two sentences here. Just going to use my spotlight. Can you see my little red spotlight? So I'm going to read the sentence, and then I'm going to read the sentence. And you guys are going to tell me what's the difference in my tone. Okay, tone is, are you happy? Are you saying it in an irritated way? How are you saying something, right? So, sentence number 1. When the baby was born in June, nearly 2 months premature, the parents were happy but quite nervous, and they still had to buy all of the baby's supplies. Okay, that's tone number 1. Then sentence number 2. It's the same sentence, but I'm using dashes here. When the baby was born in June, nearly 2 months premature, the parents were happy but quite nervous, and they still had to buy all of the baby supplies. Write in the chat. Tell me what's the difference in my tone from sentence 1 and sentence 2. In sentence 1, I'm using commas. In sentence 2, are you taking a breath or pause? Yeah, so in both of them, you take pauses. Okay, dashes, you make a pause. Commas, you make a pause. Samia says, because the full stops are making its own sentence. They both have full stops, but the difference is this one has a comma and this one has a dash. Diane says, smiley face, miss. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you the answer because you guys are, ooh. Okay, so Wolf says, dashes sound more energetic. Yeah, basically. Remember guys, all information included in the dash is used to emphasize, it's used to bring focus to some part of the sentence, right? So when I was saying it without the dashes in the sentence with the commas, I'm just saying it as additional information. But when I'm saying out loud the sentence with the dashes, I'm really putting focus on what I want you guys to hear. Okay, let's look at the top here. Did you guys know that with a dash, there can just be one dash in a sentence, or there can be 2 dashes in a sentence. So if you want the sentence to go towards the end, right, then you will have a dash. You only have 1 dash. But if you want the sentence to be in the middle, the sentence that you're going to focus on, then you'll have 2 dashes. For example, she is an author, and a very good one too. Can you see that we are emphasizing on what type of author she is? So it's not like a bracket. Imagine I put this in brackets, right? Let's put this in brackets. Is this important to know? It's not necessarily important to know because it's in brackets. But because we have a dash, we know that the point that she's very good at writing is very important to know. Let's look at number 3 here. You solved that sum, and I don't know how, before anybody else. So what this person is emphasizing in this sentence is that I really don't know how you solve the sum. Okay, it's really mind-boggling to me. That's what we want to emphasize. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to an activity. It says add dashes in the correct places in the sentences below to indicate the focus. He is afraid of 2 things, spiders and senior prom. Okay, so we're going to add our dashes. Obviously, I gave a space for that. Guys, a dash is longer. Can you see it's longer than a hyphen? That's very important to know. Right. Irene, the woman wearing the blue dress and brimmed hat is my great aunt. So here the dashes go in the middle. Okay. Guys, before we end this lesson, I'm just going to look at these 2 pictures here for you guys. I've edited for comedic effect. Let's look at this one. What a difference punctuation makes. Private, no visitors allowed, right? That's a command. But if you don't have proper punctuation marks, then imagine you put a question mark after private. Then it will sound like this. Private? No. Visitors allowed. Can you see how in the first sentence, you're saying that no visitors allowed? In the second sentence, because you're not using punctuations properly, you're saying that it cannot be